Cubs fam? We are back for another Galaxy of Heroes whale chat, and we're going to get right into this. We've got both whales and free to play alike joining us today. The one and only Furball, Kate Gaming, Kipper Snack, Rambam, and Ranger. Everybody has been on one of these chats already, and we have got a lot to discuss today. Since our last one, we've missed a few weeks here. How are you guys doing today?
Living a dream, Cubs.
I feel that you're being very sus, Cubs, asking us that. I say we vote Cubs out. I think it's impossible.
Yeah, I want him to take him out.
We've all been playing a little too much Among Us. In fact, we considered maybe playing Among Us while we do this chat, but I think we will probably spare you guys because we've seen plenty of Among Us here. So we got 4 big topics we want to hit on. Number 1, we do have some marquee characters that have been data mined, 3 new data mine packs. We're going to do a little speculation, if that's okay with you guys, on what we may be in for on those. We also want to talk about these 2 new Galactic Legends. How does everyone feel the balance is hitting this game right now? Are any buffs, nerfs inbound? And then also we want to talk a little bit about dev communication. Obviously, CG has made some changes in that regard. Are those changes positive? Are they negative? Are they enough? We're going to get into that. And then also, finally capping it out with GCs, Galactic Challenges, and the problems that may exist there. The tool CG created seems to have some issues, which is affecting the cadence there. How are we feeling about that as a group, and what are our expectations going forward? Hopefully that is enough for you guys to chew on. So let's talk first about the data mined characters. Ranger, we're going to go to you first.
Yep.
What do you think these data mine characters are? You got 3 picks.
Well, I already know my 3, and I've been on it like a blue bonnet this year with all my picks of the characters coming out. I haven't missed on any. I even
Wait,
called
really?
Luke. Yeah, I even called Luke and Palpatine.
Wow. Okay, go ahead.
So I'm going to say that the next 3 character is Scout Trooper,
Okay.
Krill in IG-11.
I hate you for saying Scout Trooper. Do you know why?
Why?
Because the only time I've ever made a speculation video about Scout Trooper coming in, I had several comments that are like, every time people just speculate about Scout Trooper.
Oh, really?
And so now you're gonna get me crap for speculating Scout Trooper. That's not my speculation, guys. It's Ranger speculation.
It's mine, baby. It's mine.
All right.
Possibly,
so
I think a ship or two could come in too.
yeah.
So
Okay. All right. So Scout Trooper's the one I heard, and then I forgot the other. Scout Trooper,
Krill in IG-11.
and
I think we're
IG-11.
getting Mando content, baby.
Are you thinking that's going to build towards a Mando legendary event?
Yep.
For
What's the name of the dark saber? I just went blank.
Moff Gideon.
Gideon.
Yeah, Gideon, thank you.
Okay, so you're thinking Moff Gideon over Baby Yoda. Okay, so interesting take. So we got some obvious Mandalorian characters in there. Are we all pretty much in agreement that the Mandalorian is coming next? Does anybody think, is there any dissenting opinions on that?
No, it's definitely Mandalorian content, for sure.
Yeah, it's Mandalorian.
Okay, any speculation beyond what Ranger just said, though? Any other characters you guys think could be on the table instead?
Well, I would think Grand Gideon's going to be a marquee. I don't see him being a legendary character.
Okay. Why is that? Just because there's just not enough hype there yet, not enough lore.
Lore hype. I don't see him as a legendary component. I mean, I'd see Baby Yoda more as a legendary than anything else.
He's definitely a legend already. He's an eternal legend for the fandom. The one thing I will say about Moff Gideon that I think does earn him legendary status, in my view, is the fact that he's got the Darksaber. Like that to me is a big deal in universe, and we don't know enough about it yet. So I think but here's the thing though. If he is going to be a legendary character, I could easily see Capital Games giving us 3 more Mandalorian characters here. That gives us 5 total, or 6 total actually, and having those characters be needed for a legendary character that we won't actually see until after season 2 has had a little bit of a chance to bake, and then the legend of Moff Gideon grows even more. Any other takes on that one?
Bone Broth Lady. I think she's coming to the game.
Bone Broth Lady?
Oh, God.
Okay.
No, I was kind of really actually thinking that
Baby Yoda of some sort was going to be the legendary, and Moff Gideon would be one of the marquees. I'm kind of in that same boat.
Okay.
Although I think they will go down the path of making Moff Gideon the legendary, but I don't know. I don't get the feeling that it should be.
Tell me if anyone agrees with this, but while I feel like I need Baby Yoda to be in this game, I also kind of have a hard time seeing Baby Yoda being in the game just yet. Is anyone else kind of feeling that with me?
Well,
No, I don't care who they give us. I just want Baby Yoda.
Well, that's what I want. I want it too, Kay. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying. It seems like maybe we need to know more about Baby Yoda before they drop him in the game. Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe his kit will, or its kit. I don't know what it is really. But
We've confirmed Baby Yoda is a he. I think in universe.
Is it he? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I think whatever happens in season 2 will help build the kit a little more. I don't think we'll see Baby Yoda before the end of season 2 is premiered.
But,
I think we'll see Baby Yoda after.
So going off of that, I have a hard time seeing Moff Gideon come into the game until after season 2 too, because we know literally nothing about Moff Gideon. What is he gonna do? He's gonna flash the lightsaber?
Cool?
That's a special ability. He has
you know what would be cool, and I really hope they do it. I hope Baby Yoda is not a Galactic Legend. I really hope not. I almost hope they go back kind of like old school, and maybe you got to get Gideon in order to get Baby Yoda, kind of like
just a legendary.
CLS.
Would you if he was a Galactic Legend?
I don't think people.
I can wait.
People joke. I think people joke about Baby Yoda being a Galactic Legend, but I don't see them doing it based on timing and also based on there's just not enough there. I think legendary makes sense if they do.
But when was the last time we even got a legendary character? It's been
Padme. Is Padme last one?
Yeah, but that's been at least a year or two now, maybe.
Yeah. So it's an interesting question that Kate brings up, actually, that I think is worth discussing and unpacking. Do you guys think that CG will ever bring another legendary character to this game?
Oh, yes.
At some point, yeah.
Okay. Expound on it, Ranger. You were very confident.
Well, I mean, it's just another way for them to bring certain characters that are not, say, a Galactic Legend level or even Heroic Journey characters. There's so many characters in the Star Wars universe, and so for them not, I would be shocked if we never got another legendary. If I was to put my betting odds on it, I would say the odds are better that we would get another legendary eventually than not. Which one that'll be, I don't know. It's what I don't know in CG's mind what they consider, Galactic Legend as compared to a Heroic Journey versus a legendary, or just a normal heroic, so not having that information privy to me. But I mean, let's say a year from now, they want to introduce some EU characters. They introduce Mary Jade. You need Luke and a bunch of other Jedi to get her. Legendary. There you go.
Yeah. I like that take, and I definitely agree. I think that we will see legendary characters. I feel like we've got a new generation of characters to build up at some point, right? I mean, we've got so many characters that are needed for so many things, and when they bring in these new marquee characters, I think that's an opportunity for them to build towards those things, and I think the community in general responds very well to legendary events. I think it's been one of the more exciting things that they've brought to this game in general. So, okay, I think this has been a great discussion on Mandalorian content. I think if anyone has anything else to add it now. Otherwise, we'll move on to our Galactic Legend discussion. Anything else to add on the Mandalorian?
Can I talk not Mandalorian?
Sure.
So I'm thinking they've announced Kenobi. They've announced that they want to do stuff with an Old Republic type era. I don't remember. High Republic. I think there's a lot of
we've got High Republic books coming out confirmed by Star Wars that they're doing work on. They've released art for. We've seen a new version of Yoda, etc. So yeah, High Republic, which is I believe their timeline is 100 years before the events of Phantom Menace or something like that.
And so I feel like that's a whole new part of the universe that we don't know about yet, and so they could pull from that quite extensively if they wanted to.
Interesting. Yeah, I think my opinion on that is it will be contingent on if they make movies and shows off of that. I would be surprised if they brought in characters that were exclusively in the books, but I could be wrong.
I'm just looking at Solo, the movie that wasn't super popular. I liked it, but it wasn't the biggest hit they've ever had, and they still brought all those characters in. So I could see them doing something if it's more popular.
Sure. Okay. Interesting take. All right, let's move on. The new Galactic Legends are here. We haven't had a chance to poll everybody on this chat about the new Galactic Legends. The biggest question I want to ask all of you is, how do you feel like these Galactic Legends have fit into this game? Does the game feel balanced still? Does it feel like it's gone out of balance as a result? How is everyone feeling about the new Galactic Legends in that regard?
Well done. Absolutely well done. I think the events were 10 times better than what they were with Rey and Kylo. The balances between them, I think each one kind of counters the other one. There's not one that completely dominates the other one.
Right.
Phenomenal. I think they did a great job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good job for
I
Furball.
will agree on that. And that's what, like, when I watched all the streams and whatnot of people doing the GL events, I was very, very impressed. Very well done CG. And I don't even have one yet. I am literally about maybe 8 relic levels away from getting Grandmaster Luke. So
Awesome.
But I'm super anticipating it.
I'm still saying TBD. I think the point's already made. The event's fantastic. The ticket system changes are fantastic. Very cinematic. I've got Jedi Master Luke. I just need 1 or 2 more pieces to give him to Relic, and then I'm taking him Relic 7 here in the next day or so. As for balance, I don't know yet, because 1, we don't see a lot of people running around with their ultimates, and 2, we haven't had enough time to really get enough data to see who's underperforming, who's overperforming. I mean, I give the edge a little bit more to Palpatine than Luke, but again, until we really see it all kind of play out, I think right now I would say it's going in a positive direction, but I think we need to give it a little bit more time before we make a final call on that.
And I think one of the characters that, to that regard, that you're getting at here, one of the characters that a lot of people have complaints over is Jedi Master Luke, which perks my attention because he's the one that I have. And a lot of people are thinking that maybe he is not powerful enough. Palpatine seems to wreck him pretty strongly. Rey does the same. And we've even got this 3-man Darth Revan team that I covered earlier today as we're filming this that is able to beat him. Can we talk a little bit about this? When we get new characters, we tend to have these, the first look come out, and maybe there's a little bit of panic or frustration with those who got the characters. Do you guys feel like that's what we're seeing here with Luke?
I don't know. Again, I don't know how people can be, again, you see Darth Revan 3-man teams beating it, but did he have the ultimate? Again, you have to see the final product before we can make any kind of call.
I do believe the Luke he was fighting had the ultimate, by the way.
Had the ultimate
and was
okay.
very strongly modded, yeah.
Okay, so if that was the case, then yeah, I think that's a warning sign. But I think what CG will do is correct like they did with Kylo Ren. Remember, Kylo Ren was way worse than Rey was when they first came out. And then they added they changed his kit and buffed him and added speed to his kit and some other things. So if that is the case, then I mean, if that is the situation with Luke right now, just be patient. CG will fix it. I mean, they're not going to allow these Galactic Legends to get beat by 3-man Revan teams. They're just not. It will not. They won't stand for it.
Okay. All right. Anyone else have a take on that? Good perspective there, Ranger.
Can I kind of add like an input from like a little different of a perspective?
Yes, and Kate's perspective is strictly free to play. In fact, before we started recording today, everyone, the panel here was seeing what Kate's dollar amount was, where she would break free to play, and even if given $100,000, she wouldn't break her free to play pledge. So she's not only free to play, she's morally and ethically, concretely free to play. So go ahead, Kate.
Look, it's a pride thing at this point.
I believe you. That pride, that's expensive pride.
I just see that you could use that kind of money towards a lot better things. But in the sense of
Bravo.
this, like being free to play, I'm actually very happy with these 2 Galactic Legends. Like, coming into this before they were announced, pretty much set in my head, I'm never going to go after a Galactic Legend. Rey and Kylo, not worth it at all for me. These 2, much, much more happier about. I'm actually finishing up requirements for gas right now. And then I'm actually going to go for Sith Eternal Emperor.
Nice. Okay. So the farming side of it, you're happy with from a free to play perspective. It feels worth the grind. The grind feels reasonable. Balance wise, do you feel like let's say, Kate, I want to ask you specifically, unless you had something else to add here, please add it first before you answer this question. But say you've got Jedi Master Luke. He's able to be beat right now by Darth Revan. Pretty free to play squad. If they add a buff to Jedi Master Luke to nerf that team, how do you feel about that? Are you okay with that from where you sit? Do you feel like it should stay as it is, or where are you at on that?
Like I don't know enough about these Galactic Legends to really give you a really good answer from what I see.
Okay, that's fair.
I kind of like how everything is right now because I feel like even being free to play, I can still be competitive. And the characters they're telling us to gear up and everything, I'm okay with that. There's not any I mean, there might be like 1 or 2 that I'm like, I don't really care to gear them up.
Yeah.
But me personally, I've been telling myself for a while, I need to work on my dark side team. So this is like almost an opportunity because it's going to help me with my Imperial troopers. It's going to help bring up my Empire squad, which mine are terrible right now. So I'm okay with that. And a lot of them I have at 7-star. So I just got to bring up their gear. So I'm okay with how things are right now.
Cool. Okay, awesome. Thanks for your perspective, Kate. It's always nice to hear from that strictly 1000% free to play area of the game. Okay, so anybody have anything else to add on that? And then we'll move on to dev communication here.
On the Luke thing, yeah, it's disappointing right now, but as Ranger said, you have to give it more time for them to either buff, add to Jedi Master Luke. But, me being I don't care so much about PvP, but PvE perspective, both Sith Eternal Emperor and Jedi Master Luke have done phenomenally in the territory battles, and that to me, that's great.
Luke is great in TB, man. I have not done a less than 4 for 4 yet with him. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Well, and yeah, like Ranger said, the Jedi Luke might not be the most amazing character right now, but just like Sith or Kylo Ren was, he got buffed after they kind of inadvertently buffed him to nerf race kind of type of thing. And I like the balance. If you notice, there's a pattern between all 4 GLs. All 4 can beat with relative ease. They can beat each other, right? Not like Kylo can't beat certain GLs, but then Rey can beat those GLs that Kylo can't, and then vice versa. Kylo can beat the GLs that Rey can't, and then same with Luke, same with Palp. I like the effect that they're having. They're kind of going for a cookie cutter meta of sorts in Squad Arena, which has been a very long time since we've seen any of that.
I think you mean rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, yeah, not cookie cutter. Rock, paper, scissors. There's
yeah. And what I would argue with it and what you said is I don't feel like Jedi Master Luke beats Rey teams with relative ease at all, especially if they've got Jedi Master Luke in there. It's possible, but very challenging so far. If you do shake up the team, though, that there is ways to get it done, and I think so. We see hard counters and possible counters in there right now.
But he does beat Kylo teams really, really well, though.
On auto. Yeah, if it's a full first order team. So yep, I think we'll probably see some tweaks, and I think it's important to call out kind of historically what we've seen before. I mean, anyone who's been playing this game long enough, you remember back to the Jedi Knight Revan release. It was the same thing when Revan got released. He didn't seem good enough. And then as things eased in, we ended up realizing, oh, wait, he's actually like the most OP meta we've ever had. And then same with Darth Revan. Everyone was panicking about Darth Revan. He ended up being fine. And then Malik came and he ended up being really fine. It was the same with Gas. It was the same with every character early on in their release. We panic. We don't have the full picture yet. We don't have the modding figured out. We don't have the team comps figured out. With Galactic Legends, we don't have ultimates for the most part yet. And so I think we need to allow ourselves to live into this a little bit, and then it'll settle. We might see some busts with Jedi Master Luke. I think it's likely based on what I'm seeing, but it could also just be a matter of we need to figure out the right comps, the right mods, etc. before we live into that. So, all right, let's go ahead and shift over to dev communication. We have obviously had the addition of a new member of the dev team. Not a new member of the dev team, just a new front-facing member of the dev team, I should say. It seems like Doja Fett has actually been in the background. Just now he is in a front-facing community role alongside with Crumb. They are I'm going to call them the CG bromance going out there, getting us our questions. How do you guys feel so far about Doja? Let's just talk in general about how Doja has made a name for himself so far in the last week.
I like it. I like Doja. You guys know I'm not a CG apologist. I will give them as much criticism as they deserve. But I like the fact that from pretty much day one, he was hitting the forums, and not in like a dev post type forum, not in the post that everybody sees, but he was in the general discussion, answering questions, reaching out to, maybe not the big content creators. I understand that's a little bit of a soft spot for some people, but
it's a different
to other people.
It's a different subject, and we don't really need to. I don't think it's super valuable to discuss. Obviously, they don't want to talk to Arnold and I. That's fine, but he's talking to everyone else.
Yeah, he's talking to everyone else. He's talking to the random folk that's in the discussion chat, and that's, to be fair, that's more than we've had, I think, since ever.
Yeah, and not just talking to them about game stuff, but he was doing some random banter back and forth with people about just random things, and so I thought that was cool too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ram likes it. How's everyone else feeling?
Well, I mean, it's a thing that we've been begging for a long time.
Yeah.
And Crumb, I love Crumb, and shout out to my boy Crumb. But I think they had too much on his plate, and he had to prioritize things. It's a positive move. Here's a couple things that I've seen, especially since they added the new software. More content has been coming out. And by content, just in an overall sense, you can debate whether some of it's content or not, but more stuff coming into the game. The communication's gotten a lot better. And it looks like they're more committed now that they've got things in place to be more committal to communication. And the fact that they have someone that's fully committed to this. Now, let's, again, see over time how long he'll stay committed to doing this kind of stuff. But the things that I saw in the post that he wrote with his introduction, I really liked. Some of the thoughts maybe that, they'll be in the Discord and some other things. So I think it's a positive move. Let's see where it goes. If he maintains it, then I'll be his biggest fan. But if he gets, if they stop doing it again, if they go into the silent period, which CG can be known for, then, and you know what I'm talking about. There was a time that they communicated. They went from not talking to us to talking to us to not talking to us. A little bit of communication, then they were quiet again, and then we got this thing where it was helter skelter, where we didn't, they would say something, then we wouldn't get anything for 2 months.
Right.
And we're sitting there like, you gonna talk to us, AJ? Maybe a little talkie. So, but I think it's a positive move. I think most of the things, other than for this year 2020, other than the Rey and Kylo, have been overall positive for CG. And again, I'm not an apologist either, but I have to give them credit where credit's due. And I think they're at least trying, and it's gotten better. And I think a lot of the stuff's gotten better.
Okay, cool. So sounds like for the most part, Ranger, you're cautiously optimistic about this.
I wouldn't say cautiously optimistic anymore. The pattern of the behavior has gotten to the point where I'm optimistic, not cautiously, because they've done enough stuff this year that they've moved me past the cautious point. I'm no fool, but I'm kind of giving them a little bit of a benefit of the doubt till they mess up.
So Ranger is a CG apologist confirmed. All right, Furball, I want to hear from you on this. How are you feeling about Doja Fett?
It's good. It's good to see another person out there putting out dev posts. Definitely great to see. A little new face, new action. I mean, the devs in general, from the last time I was in a whale chat, we all discussed about like how the lack of communication was just piss poor.
Yeah.
But like recently, over just even the last course of the month, we've seen a lot of communication. A lot of random people are being, questions are being answered. It's good to see that they're making changes where changes need to be due. Obviously, there's still room for improvement, but it's cool to see like they're improving, they're getting better. And Dojo himself, I mean, he seems like a nice guy. I've personally never asked him a question or anything like that, but I've heard feedback from other people who have, and he's very nice. He's very polite and gives great feedback, and he's always responsive. So that's cool to see that from that perspective.
For sure.
He's talked to us more than Mark Dixonson's ever has.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is. Hot take for you guys. Tell me if anyone disagrees. I'm guessing nobody will, but we received some really valuable information from Doja that that we're going to discuss here in a little bit, which is that Galactic Challenges are on a cadence for once a week and on the weekends, and that has to do with some problems that CG has with their new tool set that they've implemented. My hot take is we would not know that if it weren't for Doja. If they did not make that change, we would still have no idea what's going on with Galactic Challenges. Anyone agree or anyone disagree with that?
No, I think, and I like the fact that they're being open about it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing is, before stuff would go bad and we would be left in the dark.
Yep.
We wouldn't even know that there was what the cadence was going to be.
And here's my read on what happened. It's not even CG saying, okay, Doja, go and communicate this. What it looks like to me is Doja's like, yo, guys, we need to tell them something about this. What can I tell them? And then somebody said, you can tell them this. And then he told us. It looks to me like it was Doja specifically who went out, recognized the need for communication there, got an answer that he was able to give and gave it to us. That's what my read is.
I agree with that. It would make sense. I mean, of course, that is speculation. We don't know for sure.
Speculation,
right?
but it's based on the language of what he said. He said in the first post that he made on it that I found, he chased down the answer. Is kind of the way he worded it. So that's what I think happened.
It could be. It's moving in a positive direction. And they've got a lot of work to do, man. They seriously do. Because, fool me once, shame on me, or shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. So, I mean...
I think we've had a lot of shame on me then, because they fooled us more than twice. But yeah,
yes,
I get what you're saying.
I mean, and so... I want to see where this goes, and I like the direction that it's going. But it's up to CG. I mean, there's a lot of people in the community that they got a lot of work to do because they have burned that bridge. And so if CG wants to, they're only going to be able to do it by their actions. And if their actions continue on, then maybe they'll change some more minds. And you can only improve trust through being trustworthy. So they just have to continue doing it.
Well said. I like that take. And one last thing I'll say is when it comes to that trust, I think we are very anxious to have that trust back. I think they've got a very, very attentive audience who I think for the most part, the people who are still here for the game, we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt where possible. And just the fact that they are working on this, and I've said this several times before, obviously CG is prioritizing this. This is different than CG saying, hey, we're going to try to make communication better, guys. We promise. And there's a difference between that and, hey, we're going to try to make communication better, and we made a hire to do that. Here is the guy that we hired specifically for this purpose. That's corporation talk for we specifically moved resources around because we identified a need. And so that gives me all kinds of hope. So, all right, let's move on. We did talk about Galactic Challenges and Doja, what the information he gave us. And what I want to kind of focus this conversation on is how do we feel about where Galactic Challenges are at, and the fact that this tool set, it appears, based on what Doja has said, is encountering some problems that have led it to be slowed down to only a once a weekend kind of event. Where are you guys at on this?
Once a week? Sure. I don't mind a Galactic Challenge once a week, that's fine. I mean, 2 times a week, sure. Galactic Challenges had a real big opportunity. I don't know if it was a mistake or what, but when I think it was the last Galactic Challenge we had, when they released those 3, like I think it was Mark V and droid collars or whatever they were.
Oh yeah.
And they're fully crafted.
Yeah.
Now, if that right there was a huge opportunity, you would have took something like a fully crafted stun gun and made that tier 7. You beat tier 7, you get a fully crafted stun gun. That right there would make Galactic Challenges like perfect.
Yep.
Absolutely perfect. And when I looked at the Galactic Challenge that's going on right now, there's not a single fully crafted piece. And I was like, I really hope that wasn't a mistake. I hope maybe
it was. They clarified that, by the way, if you missed it. They clarified it was a mistake on the forums.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That's unfortunate.
He just sorry to burst your bubble there, Furball.
My soul hurts.
Oh, we just killed him on stream, guys. We killed him on stream live on the video.
But even so, if they do like realize like, hey, you know what? It might have been a mistake when we did it the first time, but we got a real positive feedback from that Galactic Challenge. Maybe they change it up. Maybe not a fully crafted piece all the time, but just more pieces of a certain thing.
Yeah.
Rather than just like 3 or 4 here and there.
Well, I'll say one out of the 4 every month they do the 3 fully crafted like stun guns or something like that.
Oh yeah.
I think the thing with Galactic Challenges, they were a dumpster fire when they first started, but I think we were a little forgiving on that. As long as they were trying to be proactive, and the thing that I can say is they are being proactive with it. It's substantially better than it was. And I even like the fact that, doing the one today with Vader and everything, it was a lot of fun. You can use your your Imperial troopers. So it's gotten drastically better. As long as I keep trying to improve it and change it, and sure, there's going to be snags. I don't fault a company for there being snags.
Right.
I fault a company if they just leave it there, don't communicate about it, and leave us in the lurch, and then nothing happens with it, and we're just sitting there wondering what the hell.
Right.
But as long as they keep trying to improve it, keep communicating, seeing what we like, and a lot of the changes have been done based off the feedback they've gotten from the community, I'm fine with it. I think it's good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna second that. I love what they have attempted to do with Galactic Challenges after launch. They identified an issue, they listened to the community feedback, they have made a lot of changes. And this Galactic Challenge in particular, the one that we're currently in with the Empire versus I think it's the Jedi or whatever, it's absolutely amazing. I love being able to take in my Imperial troopers and actually feel like I have a chance on tier 7 with Gear 12 troopers.
Right.
Things like that. It didn't feel like it was you have to be Relic 7 to do this. You could do it with undergeared people and still have fun with it. Still kind of theory craft with some different Empire comps. So that in and of itself was fun. Plus the mod materials added a kind of revitalization for it for me. I didn't like that they brought the mod materials out, but I think that they should have done something different other than the mods, but because that's what we were given, I've looked at the positive of modding. I just rolled a plus 24 speed mod because of it today. That's impressive of itself.
The more I think about those mods, the more I personally like them, especially because of the way they did it. I was actually talking to Urza about this on stream earlier today. Everyone go back and watch if you're watching this on YouTube, go back and watch my Twitch stream replay to find that conversation. I basically had a big conversation with Urz about Galaxy of Heroes and some things that have happened. It was a really great chat, and told him how those mods function. He was actually really happy with it because it's not adding, you can only cap a secondary stat to 5 rolls, and so you're not rolling to 30 speed, plus 35 speed secondary mods or anything like that. And I really, really like that they are having Galactic Challenges be the place that you farm that, because it gives that instant credibility to Galactic Challenges. I just think, to me, the biggest problem with Galactic Challenges is frequency and replayability. That is what they packaged Galactic Challenges to be. I'm actually much less concerned about rewards. I am concerned about rewards. I want it to be worth playing for, but more than anything, I'm concerned about player enjoyment. And right now, I don't see they package this as a daily thing. They literally said in their first rollout on the road ahead, Top Out said that we were looking at something that's going to be something players can do every single day. That is not happening right now. And it seems to be as a direct result of some technical issues with their tool set. And so that's probably the thing I'm the most interested in them addressing, is that constant content replayability.
Well, I also love that the mod salvage, they decided to roll out mods and look at their historical issues that they've had. They roll out something new, they make it payable as well.
Right.
And here you can only get it every weekend in Galactic Challenges. You cannot pay for it.
Probably one of the most positive things they did here. Yep, love it.
There was
I'm not going to complain about that.
Mine.
Yeah.
There was a data mine of a mod salvage mini bundle. So who knows what's in there? Could be the 6A mod stuff, but
they'll likely monetize it at some point. But they didn't do it day one.
Yeah, which I'm super happy for. So I'm optimistic as well.
Okay. We got one more topic to discuss here. We are going to do a Q&A. I guess I shouldn't call it a topic, but we've got our Q&A to do here next. Toyota, if you have the questions, please get those ready for me and send those to me on Discord. Anybody have, let's see, Kipper, haven't heard a lot from you. Did you have anything else you wanted to add on that latest subject?
Yeah, sure. Last time I was on the Lil Chat, we talked about whether Galactic Challenges were fun, and I told you I wasn't having fun, but the last two, they've actually been good PvE content. This is the first time I've enjoyed playing something that's not player versus player in over a year. And so I'm super excited. I'm super optimistic about what they've given us because I am having fun with it finally.
I love that you brought that up, the PvE element. I think that's something really when it comes to Galactic Challenges that I was the most excited about, is having some really engaging PvE content, because I am not super engaged in the PvE modes of this game. Maybe territory battles at times, but yeah, that's what I'm looking for, is solid replayable PvE content. That's a good call out.
Definitely, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Kate, did you have anything else to add on GCs?
I mean, they're still working through some technical issues, so
yeah,
at least they're telling us. I can't fault them for that. And
yes,
I'm pretty optimistic about how the rest of it's going to roll out. And maybe one day it will be a daily thing. I have no idea. I might be just more of that kind of person where I'm like, yeah, maybe this will happen.
You seem to be an optimist by nature, Kate.
A little bit.
That's good. That's good.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens, because obviously when stuff first gets rolled out, it doesn't matter if it's in this game or in real life, stuff doesn't go right first usually. So
yeah,
I'm curious to see what happens, and I don't mind the rewards. I might be it might just be me, but did anyone else get? I've gotten confused by a couple of the feats, so I haven't been able to get them because I'm like, what are they talking about?
Yeah, there's been a few that are kind of confusing, but just jump on stream and I'm sure someone will help you figure them out. There's some brains out there, but I like what you called out though about when it comes to the communication on. At least they told us that there's tech issues. I think that's very important. That I actually was relieved when I saw on Doja's post that the cadence was low. I understand that's not the answer you wanted. I love that he said that. And then he added, but it appears that we are having some technical issues with the tool set that we built this on. And so stay tuned for more. So he empathized with the community. And he also said, here is why this is happening. And so it gives us that information of, okay, so this isn't what it's going to look like forever. They don't want it to look like this. They're having some technical issues. That's easier for us to, I guess, be understanding and accept that, other than just be in the dark and just wonder what the hell's going on.
So much respect for that, because I think it was earlier this week or before the post was made. I was thinking, I'm like, I haven't seen a Galactic Challenge. Like, what happened to them? And
where is this game mode?
I am terrible at keeping up with forums, so that's why I didn't really jump into discussion. Like, look, I'm terrible at that stuff. Like, somebody has to tell me they post something for me to actually go look. And I actually did check the schedule. I'm like, I don't see Galactic Challenges on here anywhere. So where are they?
Yep. Yep. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they handle it going forward. But definitely hope to continue to see this communication improve. I think it's very easy. Tell me if you guys all agree with this sentiment, but it's very easy to accept setbacks when there is context and there is explanation given to those setbacks.
Well, yeah, because if you have some information related pertaining to something, you can make a better decision than if you don't have anything. Because then you can get all kinds of conspiracy theories and nutcases saying the craziest stuff. Because
are you referring to me there as the conspiracy theorist?
No, but the fact that you said that to my response makes you very sus, Cubs.
We can't get away from Among Us, man. You just can't escape.
I was waiting for the chance to throw it in there.
That's kind of sus.
Yeah, it's sus that I said that you were sus about being sus.
This whole chat is sus.
Yeah, there's some sus. Toyota's pretty sus. But no, I mean it's worlds apart. Like if a company or anything, it's Murphy's law. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong, and you have to just be able to be adaptable to it. That's one part of the piece of the puzzle. The other part is communicating and being transparent about it. And so it's hard to complain when someone says, "Look, this happened. We can't fix it right away. We'll do the best we can." Okay, you may not like it. This kind of sucks, but it's like, okay, but at least I know what the situation is. So I have some kind of inkling of what's going on in the background. So I think it's fine.
All right. Very good take. All right. This has been a phenomenal chat. We are going to end here with one question for each of you. This is from everyone on Twitch. If you guys want to come experience this whale chat live and ask the panel a question, have a chance for me to read it on the video, be sure to check out my Twitch, twitch.tv/CubsFanHan. And we are streaming every single day, Monday through Friday, 10:15 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right. Let's jump into this. So, Furball, you're going to be in the hot seat. You got the first question. What character most deserves a rework, and what would change about their kit?
Mace Windu, hands down.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Man, you got one.
Get out of here.
You had one job. You had one job.
Hands down.
I mean, next question, next person. You failed. It's a
Oh my gosh! Like you can say that, but if Ram is in here, you can't say that, dude. Come on,
I would only say,
DG Carey agrees.
I would only say that simply because Mace Windu was one of the most iconic, badass Jedis there was of his time, and he is complete, absolute garbage in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they could change to his kit other than making like his Shatter Point a way more in-depth powerhouse hitting ability.
Yeah.
But hands down right now, that's the character that needs to be touched up, if not just all Galactic Republic Jedi as a whole.
Okay, Kate is next. Ram, you are silenced right now.
geez.
How would you feel? Here we go, Kate. How would you feel if? Oh, this is from. Sorry, that last one was from Lucas38. This is from Dumb Jedi. I call him Dumb Jedi, but it's actually DMB Jedi, which stands for Dave Matthews Band, but I still call him Dumb Jedi because I called him that for a while, which was kind of funny. All right, how would you feel if Galactic Legends were not a thing, and these 4 characters were just legendary? The hype would have still been there, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think if anything, it would have been more hype because they're more accessible to people who aren't whaling on the game. Like, I would have been a lot more excited, especially if there was less characters I had to get and gear up and relic. Relic's the big thing. I don't like relicking all those characters. So I think it would have went over a lot better if they would have just did legendary.
Okay. All right. Good take, Kate. Love it. All right. Next up, we've got Kipper. This is for you. With the recent changes at CG and what seems to be more communication, do you think this could pave the way for the return of the Crystal subscription? That's from Jarek. Jarek wants his Crystal subscription.
That's funny. That's a good question for a free-to-play. I don't think so. I don't see them bringing that back, mostly because it was such a good deal. So I assume I remember it. Just because they're communicating more doesn't mean they're going to change in-game things as much, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, short answer.
Okay. Kipper is not optimistic. All right, Ram, here you go. Is Mace the hero the game needs or the one the game deserves? Mustang Groot, you have to pick one.
Oh man.
Neither. Okay. All right. Next up.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say it's the one he needs. It's the one the game needs.
All right.
Yeah.
I hesitate to let you expound, but go ahead.
You want me to expand?
Go ahead.
Okay.
30 seconds.
Okay. So he's like Furball said, he is one of the most, like him or not for his ethics, he's one of the baddest Jedi that has ever lived in the Galactic Republic era.
He's a bad guy. I agree.
No, baddest.
Bad guy.
So
Citizen.
He wasn't wrong. God damn it, you keep breaking my train of thought.
I can't help it.
That's pretty sad.
Yeah, one of the baddest Jedi that's ever lived, and he's in game. Yes, I find my uses for him, but he's not the greatest that he should be. I think there's other characters that we deserve, but the game needs a revitalization of not just Jedi in general. I mean, Jedi in general have gotten better.
Old Republic or the Galactic Republic
Jedi.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. Galactic Republic Jedi, most for the fact, are garbage. So
yeah,
I think they need a hero right now.
Okay. All right. That was more than 30 seconds. Okay, Ranger,
Typical.
You get the last question. What is your biggest and most regrettable GP dump? This is from Creatures of Queens. That's a good question.
GP dump. Unfortunately, I don't have one. And I'll say that because I've always been very particular about who I take up and when I take them up. And I've always been hyper focused. When I get locked in on something, I don't do anything else. And I really wait to see how it's going to play out. So if you look at my roster, it's kind of evident of that. There's no fluff on there. There's no course on Underworld Police, that I was like, hey, this could be a good character, no. So I don't have those kind of regrets. However, I know exactly what they're talking about because, and I'm sure you do too, Cubs, how many horror stories we have done with the thousands of roster reviews we have done over the years and helping characters that are people that have done that and then try to steer them in exactly the way they need to go because they're just getting slaughtered and everything and can't do anything in the game. So, but no, I don't have one. I've just been fortunate enough to be more cautious.
There you go. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for your answers and for a spectacular whale chat. As always, great to have you guys here. Let me know how everyone in the YouTube video watching this feels about it. Drop a like down below and leave all of your thoughts. And as always, my brothers, don't forget.
On shot.